Oppa Gundam style, everybody, and welcome back to Wow, Cool Robot, your number one show about G Gundam currently for this moment in time. I would be willing to bet money that there's no other Gundam shows talking about this one specifically. I'm Max, I use he, him pronouns, and with me, as always, are Audrey and Argyle.
What's up, everyone? I'm Audrey, I use she, her, and they, them pronouns, and I'm very excited to talk about these episodes this week.
I'm Argyle, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm pretty excited. I like these episodes.
These episodes are fucking good. Dudes rock. The boys are all here. We have destroyed the entire fucking country of Guyana.
It will never recover. I know that we're already living in the, post-apocalyptic hell future on Earth, but, oh my god, Guyana's natural resources are donezo.
This is unforgivable, what we've done here to this poor, poor country.
Demolishing just swaths of, natural, untouched land,
cartoon Gundam-shaped holes everywhere.
As Argyle messaged us both, what's up, everyone? My name's Domon Kashu, and this is Jackass.
Pretty fucking much. God, these episodes, this show, holy shit. I love that, the Guyana arc is very fun to me just because they have to think of all these contrived reasons that they all ended up in Guyana, and it's just everyone agrees independently, yeah, it's a cool place to train.
They had to have thrown, a dart at a map when they were deciding this, right? I feel like they just blew up a map of Central and South America and then threw a dart at that. And and they're like, Guyana, no one's heard of that. They can't even say it's a real country. How racist can we be?
It's not even Neo-Guyana. It's just
Guyana.
It's like that fucking, God, it's like that fucking Avatar The Last Airbender part. Yeah, come see his bear. What do you mean, his bear?
His bear? Normal animal?
Does Guyana have a Gundam fighter? Does Guyana have a Gundam fighter? What are they doing?
Guyana has 5 Gundam fighters. They're training there right now.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, maybe it's like Costa Rica, where, you only have a Gundam fighter if you actually have an active military, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have the budget otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go.
Argyle, the other first episode?
Our first episode is Mobile Fighter G Gundam, episode number 19. Fierce Battle, Dragon Gundam versus Bolt Gundam. Saishi is doing pervert shit in the forest. He comes across the Russian delegation. They're just hanging out. He's being a pervert again. And he challenges Argo to a Gundam fight. But Argo is way stronger than him and also refuses to fight him. Later on that night, the Russian camp is attacked by something that appears to be the Dragon Gundam. A lot of their assets are burned to the ground. They're furious about this. Argo immediately sets out to battle Saishi. Kaon and Zuisen, in the meantime, have been kind of asking Natasha, begging her to please have Argo fight Saishi, but they refuse as well. But they're pretty overjoyed to see this, that Argo is doing this. Because they get their wish anyways, and they fight, and then at the end, Argo achieves victory because he is able to just use his pure strength and clear focus on his enemy to overcome Saishi. Then a bunch of Death Army guys come out dressed like the Dragon Gundam, and since Argo and Saishi are too fucking tired to do it, Domon kills all of them with the super mode. Wait, does he use super mode?
No, he just uses shiny finger.
He doesn't use super mode. He just uses shiny finger.
This isn't an emotionally charged enough moment
he says
for
ultimate
him to
shining. Yeah, he says ultimate shining finger, and I'm like, well, that's kind of but no. And that's basically the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Saishi gets over his PTSD because he also has it.
Yeah, this is a lot of people choosing interesting methods to cope with trauma in these episodes.
Yeah, some valid, some absolutely not. I don't care that he's 16. Fuck this kid.
Yeah, I say interesting as the most sensitive term I can use to talk about how some characters deal with it in these episodes. So I was gonna start off by saying, wow, I can't believe that everyone came. Not only did they come to the same country, but they're in the same radius
They're in the Guyana, like, nationally sanctioned Gundam fighter training grounds.
But then I literally just looked up Guyana's landmass, and it's only 7,000 square miles, which makes it slightly smaller than Idaho. So, all right, I guess.
I mean, Gundams are like the size of Rhode Island, so, you know, it's...
Yeah.
It's true, right, exactly.
You can fit, like, 10, maybe 12 Gundams in Guyana before you ran out of room.
Yeah. So this episode starts off with something that I actually really enjoy seeing, which is Domon just sucking shit at something.
Oh my god. His like, current training exercise of choice, he's given up on trying to cut a tree. Now he's just trying to, like, cut through a waterfall. But every time he tries it, he just gets fucking dunked under. It rules.
He fucks up so hard. Once again, his jeans will never be dry again. He's
a wet boy.
Days at a time just standing in rivers with his pants and shirt, like long sleeve shirt on, and just getting soaking wet. He was at least shirtless in the last episode, but no, he's fully clothed right now.
Yeah.
And just getting owned by a waterfall.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Rain is currently working on the Shining Gundam. It's undergoing maintenance, so it's a little dog shit at the moment. This will be important later.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a special tool that will not come in handy later.
It's in Chekhov's Gundam.
Yeah.
Wow, that felt really weird, like, actually saying the phrase Chekhov's gun and just adding something into it. I'm used to saying Chekhov's whatever the fuck else.
Yeah, Chekhov's Gundam.
I'm gonna think about that one privately later on today.
Or rocking your own world here, are we?
Whew, much to think about.
So, Sai is a little pervert, but...
Yeah, he's here, unfortunately.
He is here, unfortunately. But I will say, I'm not a fan of panty shots, but we do get the funniest panty shot I've ever seen, probably.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't the worst way to handle this scene.
Yeah, so she's like, God let me wake up again in Guyana, and I'm about to make it everyone else's problem. And, like, out of nowhere, completely apropos of nothing, falls out of the trees, like, tugs on Rain's skirt, and then scurries up off the side of the cliff as Zarun and Keun chase after him because he has been shirking his training.
Mm-hmm.
And as he goes up, so he, like, twists, like, Rain's skirt off, and Domon looks around because he's like, whoa, wait, what's happening? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And as Saishi leaves with the monks following him, there's just, like, this long pause where Rain just, like, very quietly goes,
You looked,
didn't you? And there's just, like, silence, but, like, Domon doesn't say anything, but he just, like, glows red.
Yeah, he is. He looks like a tomato.
Seeing Domon very blush-faced like that is a little cute. I wish it didn't happen because she pulled Rain's skirt up.
I know.
But, you know, Kei and Zoe-san are here, and they're like, hey, she is a motherfucking idiot. He will not train. He will never revive the Shaolin Temple. Can you do something?
Our awful son, please.
What? I mean, okay. One of the other things that I'm, like, very curious about, and I know that, like, at this point, G Gundam has introduced a number of things that are just not explained ever, which is fine. But why is everyone and their mother in Guyana, actually?
I think they all came here because they heard that Domon was here.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Literally, just that's it.
I mean, I think the, like, probably actual canonical answer is what we see in the third episode, where they have, like, a fucking stand user level of attraction because of their nasty hand tattoos.
That's true. Okay.
That too.
But also, probably Guyana might be one of the only places on Earth who hasn't been completely fucked by war.
Yeah, so we need to fuck it up.
Yeah, well,
can't let that
obviously
keep going. Gotta fix that. Yeah, because speaking of everyone and their mother who's in Guyana, actually, is there anything else you want to say about the monks?
Oh, no, they're there. They're like,
yeah,
hey,
okay.
Sai fucking sucks. Oh, and before we get to the other scene, as Sai's running through the jungle, hooting and hollering like an idiot, he does see a Death Army eyeball light up, but then he looks around, it's gone, so it's probably nothing. Must have been the wind.
Not gonna ruin my day. So, yeah, everyone and their mother is here, including the KGB. So, continuing his track record of being a little pervert within 2 scenes. Sai comes across the Neo-Russian camp.
After stealing a plate of, he steals a plate of rations, like, from one of the soldiers there.
And he, like, insults it as he wolfs it down. He was like...
Not enough seasoning.
The most white person seasoning.
From Russia,
he has
dog.
a point.
As he wolfs it down. But then, wow, he's so lucky because Natasha KGB is about to take a little dip.
Boing.
Oh, awooga.
I will say, Natasha KGB, are you free on Thursday when I am also free?
She's kind of bad with it is the thing.
Like, here's the thing. I'm judging Sai Shi very strongly in this scene. Hard to call what I would do in this particular situation if I were him.
You get shot.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. He he sees her boobs and ass and drops his spoon out of horniness, and then she immediately just fucking covers her tits with like her clothes and just starts fucking shooting into the jungle.
I love her so much.
I love her. She rules.
Are you free on Thursday?
Bring the gun.
No, she has to wrangle Argo then.
Yeah.
And like as he runs
her
away,
strap is big. I know it is.
as Sai runs away, yeah, he thinks to himself, "Isn't she overreacting? The fuck, she isn't.
Yeah,
she's underreacting."
And so, like, he runs away as she starts shooting at him, and runs straight into the brick wall that is Argo.
Big boy season.
And Argo picks him up one-handedly, which you always love to see. And
She is just like snarling and like twisting and like fucking.
He's like a raccoon that just got
captured
he's
by
like
a wild
pest
animal
control.
or like a dog. Like he's just like the way he's moving around right now, and then he fucking bites Argo.
Yeah, Argo's like, Sai Shi, what are you doing here? And again, I asked the question, what are any of you doing here? Why are you all in Guyana?
Why are you here? Like, Sai is attacking Argo, and Argo's completely no-selling it to the point where Argo gives Sai Shi, like, the most pants-shittingly terrifying death stare that Sai Shi, like, sees the Devil Gundam, and he's like, I am going to die now.
It's the PTSD, beloved.
Those are the eyes of Goro Majima.
I love that everybody has PTSD except for Argo. He's completely fine. He's just like, fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Argo's
already had to deal with, like...
Yeah, Argo's seen a lot of shit in his life.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
Devil Gundam barely registers.
Yeah, Argo has PTSD from not being able to save a woman from being sucked into space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's personally responsible for... He holds himself responsible for an innocent woman's death. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like... DG cells can't hurt me. These shades are Gucci. Anyway, so, Sai Shi's like, I'm gonna attack you, and he, like, kicks him, and he's like, yes, direct hit, and, like, Argo just literally brushes the dirt off his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't feel a fucking thing. And he doesn't even fight back, honestly, like... As he stares Sai Shi down, he just, like, backs up and, like, falls off the cliff into the river below.
Yeah.
Wish he perished there, alas.
And Argo doesn't do a damn thing to help him. He's just like, well, fuck him. Bye. I guess he's dead.
Yeah.
It was his fault. No witnesses.
That's what he gets.
The thing about the polycules, they're all dating Domon, but not necessarily dating each other.
Yeah, they're all dating Domon, but they hate each other.
I don't know that they hate each other. I feel like George is dating at least one of the other ones as well. But
I think George and Chibity hate each other.
George and Chibity do hate each other, but that's because Chibity's a homophobic homosexual.
Exactly.
And George can't stand him.
And Natasha KGB shows up and she asks Argo where he went, or where Sai went, and Argo's like, he doesn't say anything, he just like, looks at the stars and walks off. Unfortunately, Sai Shi went to fucking Domon and Rain's camp because he's getting his injuries tended to by the only doctor in the entire show.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's probably not a lot of other people who know first aid in the Guyana Highlands.
I will say, Rain is a doctor. Almost definitely a PhD, though.
Yeah, no, she's a fucking genius.
And not an MD. I'm just saying that, like, not a medical doctor.
No.
She was going to medical school.
That's true, damn.
She was, but I thought she was going for, like, nursing.
The point is she's a fucking genius, and she can do anything, because she's a girl boss.
Yeah, she's fine. She can do anything.
She's an RN.
Yeah.
Exactly. Keiun and Zuisen are talking about Argo, And, Domon mentions how, hey, Sai, your martial arts suck shit because Argo's just, like, the strongest man on Earth. Sorry about it.
He's like, hey, if it makes you feel better, Sai, I tried to punch Argo and it didn't do anything to him either.
Yeah, but check this out. If you can bait him into using his suplex attack, there's a sweet reversal you can use if you do this button combo.
Here, let me show you the frame data, Sai.
All right, so Sai, you're DPS, right? And he's a tank, right? So...
Now, he has really strong physical defense, but his special defense isn't that great.
So if you use Shell on him...
Sai gets really mad and, like, grabs his clothes and runs off, presumably to go challenge Argo. And then we cut over to the KGB plane. Natasha KGB is talking to, I'm just going to call him Neo Putin.
Yeah.
Neo Khrushchev.
Neo Khrushchev, yeah. Neo Russian Prime Minister.
Neo Mr. Gorbachev.
Tear down these Neo walls. And...
Fired Neo warning shots.
Fucking hell. Neo mutually assured destruction. And he basically is telling her that, like, yeah, all that shit that you said happened in Shijuku, it was probably an illusion. Stop trying to influence government and just do the Gundam fight.
Yeah, we think you were all on drugs or something. Anyways, none of that shit's important. You need to just do the Gundam fight.
They hate to see a girl boss winning.
Yeah. Fuck this. I like Natasha KGB. She should not be like...
She's my wife. I don't care that she's evil.
Knife.
I'm pretty sure she's not even evil. I think she's just pretending to be.
Yeah, I mean, she is, like, an enforcer of the carceral state, for sure.
Yeah, I think Argo's into it.
Yeah, but Audrey, she got booba.
Yeah, it's true. And like I said, I know her strap
like
is
she
big.
would like she would ever detonate that bomb on his chest.
I know. Men get pegged. Here's the show.
Get pegged. As she, like, walks out of the KGB plane, she does see Sai standing there in the Dragon Gundam challenging Argo to a fight. And Argo's like, no, you're in no state to fight, comrade.
Yeah, and Sai, she's so pissed off. He, like, comes out of the cockpit to be like, why won't you fight me? Fight me! You're a coward! I'm gonna be an obnoxious 16-year-old. And
what are you, McFly? Chicken?
And Natasha's like, fire warning shots. And
fire warning shots meaning light Dragon Gundam the fuck up.
Yeah, she says fire warning shots, and they all just, like, immediately start machine gun pelleting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're using small arms. It's not going to do shit to a Gundam, so it might. Yeah, it's just warning shots before they get the fucking tanks out.
I mean, here's the thing: they fire warning shots, but like she's fully out of the cockpit and vulnerable when they start doing this. So even with the small guns, he could totally be shot.
Oh yeah, they could just shoot him.
And I wouldn't care if he did.
What? And he's like, whoa, uh-oh, and, like, gets back in his Gundam and goes away. Argo's very disappointed by all of this, and he's like, I need to talk to, my boyfriend's boyfriend, about all of this, and, it's his turn to go visit... to go visit Domon and Rain. So he's like, hey, so this is happening. I don't know what to do about it. And Domon's like, why don't you just fight him? Like, that seems to be...
have you considered letting your soul cry out on the glorious battlefield?
Yeah. He's like, that always seems to work for me. Just fight the fucking kid. And Argo's like, I don't want to fight him. And Domon's like, what do you mean you don't want to fight him? Like,
I guess we should mention Domon is, at this point, before this happens, he is still trying to chop down a tree with a sword, just in the middle of the night.
Yes!
He's trying so fucking hard.
Domon's entire world is rocked by Argo, who doesn't want to fight. Like,
yeah,
mostly
it's
anyone,
fucking unthinkable.
Mostly anyone, but, like, particularly Sai, but, like, Domon's like, what do you mean you don't want to fight? And Argo's like, I don't like fighting. And Domon's like, what do you mean you don't like fighting?
I don't understand what you're trying to tell me right now.
Because you're a prisoner. That's like the only time you get to be free, right? And he's like, no, fuck you. I don't want to do it. I'm just doing this to get my crew out of prison.
Yeah. And Domon's like, I hate playing relationship counselor to the other members of our relationship. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Figure it out.
Just figure your shit out, man. And, like, at the same time, the monks go to Natasha and they tell her, like, hey, can you please get Argo to fight Sai? And she's, wary of their intentions, but, she's probably going along with it. And as Argo and Oh, also, Argo does say a very homosexual line here, because he's like, battles bring me no joy, not since my piracy days. Only if I think you did I feel something.
But it was different. And then it shows like the few seconds right before Argo rips Domon's arm off of their first fight.
Argo!
You construct intricate rituals!
Yeah.
The most important takeaway from these 3 episodes is that Argo is the guy whose arms are not safe around Argo, Golski.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. You construct intricate rituals to touch the metal of other mechs.
And then tear it apart with your big, powerful hands.
Powerful hands. Thank God he's a service top.
Oh my Jesus Christ. An explosion rocks the jungle. It's in the direction of Argo's camp. And we cut over and we see the Dragon Gundam fucking burning everything down. Oh no. And the monks hate this shit. They're like, Sai, she would never do this.
Yeah,
and
they speaking of gay, homosexual gay, they like turn to each other and clutch each other's hands, like fully interlace each other's hands. And it's like, oh, old married monks.
Yeah, I feel like we get this at least once an episode with these two, and they're just married.
They really are the Statler and Waldorf of G Gundam.
I mean, they're not as mean.
What?
So, this Gundam has, like, Gundam has attacked the Russian camp, has obliterated a Russian camp, and it looks like Dragon Gundam. And Argo's like, why? Why would you do this?
Why would you do this? Disrespect.
And so while this is all going on, by the way, it is once again Sai-Shi's turn to go to Domon and Rain. So they are trading off Domon and Rain time. And Sai-Shi's just like, he's not taking me seriously. Like, I don't know what to do to, like, make him see that I'm not just some kid. Like, I really want to fight him in a serious way, but he's not engaging with me, and he's, like, going on and on about this. And, as he's going on and on, Bolt Gundam comes out of nowhere, and...
Oh, yeah.
Argo...
Yes, hello.
Argyle Funksky.
Argo is in Bolt Gundam, just, like, devastated, asking Sai-Shi, why? Why would you do that? And Sai-Shi's like, why would I do what? And he's like, get in your Gundam. And Sai-Shi's like, hell yeah, it's time to fight. Finally, he's taking me seriously. And he does. And, like, at this point, they start the fight, right? Sai's being all quippy and silly, and Argo's like, only amateurs jabber during a fight. And they, like, their hand crests start to glow, so they're really getting into it. And the monks will start explaining to Domon here that, like, yeah, ever since that bullshit in Shinjuku, Sai hasn't been the same. We're glad to see that his heart's back in it. The Double Gundam's the first opponent Sai couldn't think he could beat.
Yeah.
And then Rain's like, yeah, he's gonna die in this fight, probably, by the way. Look at Argo.
They're like, the only way for him to, like, get over that trauma is by fighting and winning against someone who's, like, really strong and really challenges him. And Rain's like, what? Why did you choose Argo?
Argo's gonna snap him like a fucking twig.
Yeah, they're like, and she's like, have you considered what happens if he loses this one? And Domon's on the side. He's like, yeah, not to talk him up too much, but Argo's pretty fucking strong.
Yeah, Argo's pretty fucking strong, and and then Schwarzbruder shows up, and he's like, yeah, Argo's pretty fucking strong, I think. And also, look at him. He's not moving at all. He's just dodging all of Sai-Shi's attacks without barely moving his head. He's conserving his energy.
Love that shit.
The monks just have, like, a moment where they, like, look at each other. They're like, we did not think about that. So
we've just killed our boy.
Oops. We're terrible dads.
Better try again in 4 years.
This is actually one of my favorite fights that I've seen so far. It is
this is a really good fight. This is one of the longer ones that we've had, and actually has a lot of, like, unique shots and choreography.
It's extremely well choreographed. Like, it feels very visceral. The one shot that, like, really stuck out to me is Sai-Shi uses his hair whip.
Yes,
again.
and we get to see the mobile trace.
Right,
shot of this.
So he uses, so the Dragon Gundam has this, like, tail that's attached to its head that it can use as, like, a piercing whip, and Sai-Shi uses it, and you see this shot of him in the cockpit, like, literally whipping his hair, like Willow Smith, like Willow Smith, and like it does the thing where it like flashes between Saishi and the Gundam before settling on Dragon Gundam, doing the same moment and movement, and seeing the hair coalesce into the like segmented tail of Dragon Gundam, and like it is such a good shot in my opinion.
It's really
my favorite shot of the episode.
But yeah, this is right after he manages to get Argo trapped in the flags, and Argo's fucking beam ball and chain bounces off one of the flags. And
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And gets his arm wrapped, like, tied against a tree.
It's like, oh god, what's the name of that game? With the ball and the pole.
What?
Okay, you
Tetherball?
know that, like, yeah, sorry,
Oh,
what was it?
Tetherball.
Tetherball.
Yeah, tetherball. It's like a tetherball where it knocks him off. He's like up against like this mesa, and it like knocks it back, and it like wraps around the mesa and traps him against it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do when you're trapped? Well, you just fucking rip your own arm off in order to do a counterattack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like, I got you now, you're trapped, I'm coming in for the final blow, and Argo's like, I can't lose here.
Check this shit out.
Yeah.
God, it is... Argo makes one of the most terrifying faces I've seen. Scarier than his, like, Pokemon mean look move earlier. Like, his face here is a look of, like, determination and agony as he, like... Because, again, when you're in the mobile trace, you feel everything that happens to your Gundam. So Argo felt as if his arm has been ripped off as he bursts out of this.
We got a real Magnus Burnsides here.
Argo rushes in.
Yeah.
You see the arm like slowly sever and like rip apart, and then he tackles Saishi to the ground just in time. Mm-hmm. And it's a draw.
Yeah, they're both tired as fuck. Schwartz turns this into a lesson for Domon, of course. He's like, you need to focus all of your senses, and you too can tear your arm off in battle and tackle another Gundam.
It may not have been a draw if they'd been able to really continue, but the fight is interrupted.
Uh-oh. It's the Death Dragons.
Yeah, so these are Death Army in Dragon Gundam cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Master Asia is the one that comes up with all these costumes, like makes them for the little Death Army guys?
I think Master Asia has an Etsy store where he sells bespoke Gundam costumes that he handcrafts.
What he does, he has like some crayons and a piece of paper, and he draws like the new death suits, and he kind of shows it to the Devil Gundam. The Devil Gundam
Devil Gundam has
births out new ones.
He commissions the Devil Gundam, and he's like, I don't really have the artistic skills myself, but like here's sort of what I'm thinking of, and does like a little stick figure drawing of it, and then the Devil Gundam's like, oh, I got you, G.
Yes.
Yes, check this out.
Master Asia's like, hey, I've got a friend with a 3D printer. Do you want to like a new costume for these Death Army guys? I think it'd be pretty sick if we dress them up like the dragon one.
$40 for one costume, $60 for two.
Fucking his Twitter handle, DGDaddy69, comms open.
Oh.
But yeah, they're literally Death Army suits. Yeah, they're literally Death Army suits that have the Dragon Gundam like head and arms. But it still has the eye, because you gotta have that nasty big pink eye.
Gotta have the big eye.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to looking like an Oni.
It all goes back to looking like a Zaku too. We love it. And Schwartz is like, all right, Domon, let's fucking do this, homie. And Domon immediately jumps in his Gundam and then gets electrocuted to death.
Yeah, he gets the bone hurting mobile trace.
Domon, I replaced the engine oil with bone hurting oil. Don't get in there.
This is part of the maintenance, Domon. We have to flush the system with bone hurting juice.
So
it wasn't done.
So Raid's calibrations have not quite been completed, and as a result, the trace system is oversensitive, which means Domon feels everything like his bones are made out of glass and his skin is made out of paper.
Yeah, every morning he breaks his legs, every night he breaks his arms.
And so Schwartz is like, okay, fuck it, never mind. You just stay still.
There.
You just stay still. I'll deal with this myself. And then he fires out infinite kunai.
Oh my god, where does he keep these things?
I love Spiegel Gundam so much. Nothing about this Gundam makes any fucking goddamn sense, and I love it for him. I love this stupid German ninja so much.
Oh god, it rules. He
It
flings
really-
like 7 million of these things.
Yeah, the animation of him throwing the kunai is very silly too. I love it.
Can we, like, superimpose at some point German Naruto opening over, like, us talking about Schwartz?
Oh god, that's good.
Sakura the Beautiful.
God, Sasuke is really cool.
Cool, yep.
And he gets rid of all of the death dragons except for one, which jumps up in the air and flies towards Domon. But Domon remembers Schwartz's lesson of the day, and he focuses all of his senses towards the enemy, and the sort of like yellow electricity turns into green electricity, which is good now. And
That's how you know it's good.
That's how you know it's good. It's the green, it's the color of money. And Domon pops Shining Finger out, which completely blocks the fire. I like that every episode, Shining Finger can do a whole new thing. It's fucking Star Platinum up in here.
It just emits energy that can do things.
It's emitting heat, so why would it block? Everyone knows
it can block
heat blocks
stuff,
heat.
It can destroy things. It can turn mummies into dust.
If you want to stop a forest fire, you simply have to light another fire in the opposite direction, and it'll cancel each other out.
Listen, we get into some pretty stupid lore in these episodes about
really
what people can and cannot do. So this is, like, in my opinion, the least of it.
Yeah, and after he blocks the fire,
we've seen him deflect shit with the Shining Finger before, so I think this is fine.
This man can stop bullets with his bare hands. Like, I'm not gonna fight him on being able to deflect shit with his giant robot.
Oh god,
that has one trick, and that trick is hand good. So, you know what? Fine, hand good.
Hand good, why not? And he jumps up and, Shining Fingers it from behind, and I really don't like how often I describe it in my notes as Shining Fingers it, like, as an action.
Yeah.
Because that ain't right. That don't work. No way.
What those fingers do?
Yeah, he fingers it from behind, like you said.
The eight words.
He takes off all of his acrylic nails before he fingers it from behind.
The 9 words everyone wants to hear in bed. This hand of mine glows with an awesome power.
Oh, happy Pride Month from me, your local lesbian.
And everyone wins, yay! And
Love
Schwartz
wins.
is like this. Love.
Yay!
Schwartz says the Double Gundam's territory is extended all the way to here. Beautiful, picturesque Guyana that we have been destroying for the last, month or so.
Yeah, not as picturesque as it was a few days ago, but still
previously beautiful Guyana.
Don't worry, we've still got a few weeks before the finals to fuck it up even more.
It's the next morning now. Argo's leaving, and Sai sort of asks him, "Why didn't you want to fight me?" And Argo just turns, he's like, "I knew you were not at your best. I only want to fight you if you're at 100%. And Sai loves this. It's, yay, the resolution we all been waiting for.
Dragon Ball Z? I would give you Senzu Bean so you can fight it full power.
Eat funny bean, little man.
No need for therapy. Only bean.
Only bean. God, Goku needs to go to therapy, I tell you what.
Goku needs to go to, couples therapy.
Yeah, 5-way therapy here.
Rod it twice.
Next episode, though, Schwartz is just like, "Hey, Domon, train, otherwise you're gonna be left in the dust," because Argo's the strongest now, I guess.
Everybody else is getting better, and you're not really getting anywhere. You're just getting owned by waterfalls and shit.
You still can't cut that fucking tree, dude.
Chasing waterfalls.
Well, he's not chasing them. He's found them. He just can't beat them in a fight.
Don't go getting drowned by waterfalls.
Don't go fighting waterfalls. That's episode.
That's episode. Audrey, let's get into it right away.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I can't believe I'm doing the summary for this episode. Who could have guessed?
Wow.
Episode 20. George beat the nightmare. Practicing with his butler Raymond, George is haunted by a massacre that occurred in Neo-France colony a year before. He was fighting a fellow candidate for the 13th Gundam fight, Jean-Pierre Mirabeau, when the king refused to acknowledge Mirabeau as the winner due to his unfair tactics. When Mirabeau attacks the king, George attempts to stop him, but in the process accidentally deflects the missiles into the audience, killing everyone. Traumatized by this earlier incident, and his emotional wounds reopened by his possession by the Devil Gundam, George loses the will to fight. Raymond, trying to help him out, asks Domon and Rain for help. George overhears their conversation and fires Raymond for betraying his trust. Meanwhile, Mirabeau breaks out of prison on the French colony and heads to the Guyana highlands in order to defeat George. Acquiring the power of DG cells after meeting with Master Asia, he attacks George, who is too lost in his anger and trauma to fight back. Domon attempts to defeat Mirabo, but he is stopped by Schwartz, who tells George he will find his answer in a Gundam fight. Overcoming his fear, George fights Mirabo, but is caught up in his rage, and Domon is able to activate his supermoon for the second time without using anger, to physically restrain him and remind him of his morals. After Raymond gives him advice, George uses his shuffle crest to get rid of the DG cells in Mirabo's body. After seeing this, Domon realizes how far he has to go in his training and vows to try harder.
Hell
Fucking episode.
Gay,
Holy
gay,
shit.
homosexual, gay!
We're always saying it. That's the
Yeah.
fucking tagline of G Gundam.
Happy
Okay.
Pride Month.
So I've said
Pride
it.
Month.
I've said it before, and I will say it again. All George does is fight cheaters
Yeah, he's an honorable fighter.
Yeah.
What more can you want from him?
every single time.
Love this guy. He rules.
So we start off with him actually not fighting a cheater. We start off with him fighting Raymond in his butler bot that I'm obsessed with.
Okay, before we get to the Butler
Yeah.
bot, which yes, I also really want to talk about the Butler bot. We do get a shot of that shuttle escaping from the Neo
Yes.
France colony.
Yes.
And we get a shot of a Neo France like mobile suit. It is called the NF-MS-81 Godarl. It just looks like a
Godarl.
fucking like Napoleonic soldier.
Sure fucking does. It has the shoulder tassets and everything.
Yeah, and we also get a shot of the Neo France colony, which just looks like a fucking bouquet of roses with Hogwarts on the top, if you can imagine it.
I would have made it look like a big snail.
Anyways, yeah, let's talk about the fucking Butler robot.
Yeah, Butler
Butler
bot.
Benso Man is the only mobile suit.
Butler Benso Man.
Benson. Yeah, he's basically Codsworth from Clone High. I'm obsessed with it. This is going to be my favorite Gundam in probably the entire franchise, but certainly in G Gundam.
So the Butler Benso Man is joining an illustrious group of Gundams what have mustache.
Yes.
There
Along
are
with the Turn A Gundam.
Yes, off the dome, there are 3 Gundams that I know of that have mustache. It is the F91 Gundam F91, which came out, I think, 3 years before this, because this was 92. No, fuck, this was 94. I don't remember. This is whatever. F91 had a mustache
Call it 93,
under the
it's
mask.
the difference.
Okay, yeah, there you go. And then Butler Benson Man and G Gundam, and then 1999's Turn A Gundam. The whole that's like the mustache, but like, sorry, honey, you're third. Butler Benson did it before you. This thing rules, and the most important part of it is that it is not piloted via mobile trace.
Yeah, it's not mobile trace. It's not even like a traditional like cockpit. It's got a fucking steering wheel.
It's a steering wheel and like a fucking shift knob. This rules.
He's driving it like a car.
Yeah, you have to get your license to drive a Butler bot from the DMV.
Yeah, you gotta get your CDL.
Yeah.
Fuck. It rules. I love it so much.
It's really good, and they're just fencing. They're like having a good time fencing. George is
And he's really
winning.
good at piloting this thing too.
Yeah,
I know.
I will have
With
to
a
say,
steering wheel.
I have to say, like this is like driving a shitty station wagon and being like, it's not a good car, but I'm also not afraid of anything else.
Gets me from A to B. This old baby's.
Yeah,
I've driven
it's
her
like-
for thousands of miles.
It's like, if I have to go against your Maserati, guess which one of us could be more scared about the damage?
Yeah, pretty much.
They could have very easily just had these two fencing like as humans on foot, but they said no. What if we gave the Butler a Gundam too?
Yeah.
None of the other crews have gotten Gundams, but this guy gets one.
Yeah,
No.
good for
Because they're
Raymond.
rich as fuck. They
Good
are
for
rich
Raymond.
Yeah, that's noblesse oblige, baby.
as fuck. Getting our Butler a Gundam.
I love the upper class. So relatable.
Yeah. Not that France has any history with guillotines.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Raymond sucks at this, though, is the problem here.
So, I mean, yeah, George is pretty handily beating him, and he's like, okay, this isn't, like, working out so great. And they, like, are about to take the break, and, like, Raymond comes up to him in the Butler bot, and as he approaches, it's like, JoJo voice, oh, you're approaching me, except George is like, oh god, you're approaching me! And it's the PTSD, beloved, because all he sees is the Devil Gundam!
He's kind of freaking out a little bit. Poor guy. It's like, this is maybe, like, the most upsetting, like, reaction to the Devil Gundam, because George is, like, cowering on the ground right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight up not having a good time right now.
Yeah, and as this happens, we see Rain driving by in the Guyana jungle, and she does Miranda Cosgrove, interesting, as she sees all this.
Yeah, interesting, and also Umbrella Academy.
Exactly, Elliot Page, and
yeah, passing by. Wait a minute.
Huh? Oh God.
I would love to know. Well, we get into it. So yeah, George is having a medical emergency, and she just happens to be by, and Raymond's like, "Oh, George is having a medical emergency, and you're the only doctor in this country and possibly this planet. Could you help us?"
Curious.
And then she's like, "Yeah, sure." And they're like playing it fair. They're both like, Raymond and Rain are like, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious." Yeah.
You're definitely not conspiring together.
Right,
We're not in cahoots at all.
Yeah. And so it cuts over to them having lunch in George's tent.
Cuts over to them day drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice glass of wine Rain has here.
5 p.m. somewhere. And Rain's...
Oh, we've been looking for Neo Margaritaville for years. We haven't found it yet. Jimmy Buffett, you're a wily one. Where's your colony?
Neo Jimmy Buffett. So they're like having lunch, and they're like talking through. Raven's like, "Would you mind looking over George?" And Rain's like, "Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to." And George is like, "I find it very curious. Not that I'm sad to see you, Miss Rain, Mademoiselle Rain, but I find it extremely curious that you just happen to be here at the time. Have anything to like say about that, Raymond?" And
Rain so awkwardly just like excuses herself. She does some hiccuping in the scene, which is very cute just because of the wine. And she's like, I forgot to do. I have to do something later. Bye, and runs off. And it's very cute.
This is a very goofy episode, despite the like crippling PTSD.
The subject matter, I
George
know,
is suffering the whole time.
It goes back and forth. Like moments of it are like very, very silly, and then moments of it are extremely emotionally harrowing.
Oh, same hat.
Same brain, Max.
It's a fucking same. Raymond is like, "Oh, well, ignoring all that, hey, I hear Domon's in the area. Why don't you go train with him?"
Yeah, here's the thing. I would love to know what is the Guyana news network that is spreading information about all the Gundam fighters to each other. How are they finding this out? And like, I mean, I know it's, again, in the future, in the distant future to year 2000 to year 2000, but...
They have Neo Twitter. Rain is posting videos of Domon eating shit in the waterfall.
They didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah, I was saying that Chibity was posting on like Instagram, like just pictures of him and Domon training together.
Yeah.
Everybody else got jealous, and they came to do it too.
I want time with Domon boyfriend, and we cut over. Domon is training. He's doing the waterfall bullshit, but now he's in Shining Gundam doing it.
Yeah, he's like, I couldn't do this on foot, but well, how about in my Gundam? Fuck you, waterfall. You can't beat a giant robot, can you? And it can't. He can slice through it easily with his Gundam.
Yeah.
No, with the fucking Minovsky beam, sure.
More like H2O. Fuck you.
And then the big fucking boulder gets yeeted into the sky, and Domon cuts it apart with ease. And Raymond is here clapping in his suit. He's like, "Well done, Domon."
I will call it Butler Bot every time we see it. I love this thing so much.
Yeah, but it's Raymond and Butler Bensaman.
He emerges from the head of it very dramatically. Like, it just has a rising platform that lets him come out of it while bowing the whole time.
That's another funny thing too about that. Like, if you see not only a Gundam but any mobile suit in the Gundam franchise, 99% of the time cockpit's in the chest, but like, this one is important. Cockpit's in the head. That's how you know it's like a very important mobile suit. We spent a lot of time designing it.
So Raymond is like, "Hey, listen, I need to have a heart-to-heart with you." And Domon's like, "Can we not? Like, can I have like 5 minutes alone, please?" And
I'm trying to cut water.
Raymond's like, "You have 4 boyfriends. Learn to live with it."
I have 4 boyfriends, and they keep fucking interrupting me while I'm trying to cut trees down with my rusty sword.
I know. So he's like, "Anyway, it's my young master's turn to interrupt you. Hey, so I need to talk to you about George. And he, like, goes into his spiel basically being like, so, George has been fighting since Shinjuku, but kind of fucked up.
The boy ain't right, Domon.
He's like, kind of brutal. I don't see any of, like, the chivalrous, like, honorable man that I care for, and I'm really concerned about him. And Domon is listening to this, and he goes, essentially, this is not my beautiful Rose Gundam, this is not my beautiful wife.
Yeah. As Raymond tells Domon this, we cut over to George having a nightmare. He's in this, like, some weird sort of hazy space, and he looks over and he sees Maria Louise walking her little dachshund in her garden. But then she's struck down by this black lightning, and the Double Gundam appears, and George tries to attack, but he gets taken over by the DG cells, and he wakes up holding his glass of wine on his fun little lunch table in the tent. He's normal again.
God damn it, I knew I shouldn't be drinking wine before bed.
Yeah. Got those red wine tannin dreams.
If it's not bedtime, it's not red time.
So it cuts over again to Raymond regaling Rain and Domon with, like, George's entire life story. And he's like, all right, so the Double Gundam was not great, but I think there's actually a bigger issue at hand here, which was, I don't know if you've heard of, like, the Marseilles incident, and Rain's like, oh, geez, and Domon's like,
okay,
the what? The what now? And
but before that, he presents some combat data from one of George's recent fights that shows him just fucking ripping the head off, like, just brutalizing this opponent Gundam, which is, I will point out, Magnet Gundam from Neo-Poland. Just fucking it up, like, kneeing it in the face, just grabbing the head and ripping it off with his bare hands. And he's, like, sweating and terrified and screaming the whole time.
Right.
So, yeah.
That is the point where Domon's like, this is not my beautiful Rose Gundam, this is not my beautiful wife.
Yeah, and that's when he presents us and tells us about the Marmalade incident.
Yeah, so a year ago, when Neo-France was deciding on who was going to be the representative for the 15th annual Gundam fight, for animal, whatever, George was going against another opponent, Jean-Pierre Mirabeau, and
Jean-Luc Bilodeau.
What?
No, that's the guy who plays Josh in Kyle XY.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So he was going against Jean-Pierre Mirabeau, who would always stand in front of crowds during the fight so that George couldn't attack him. Which, like, first of all, why are there live audiences?
I know, it's not fucking NASCAR.
Like, what
the hell?
It's like how people used to go out and just watch, like, armies go to war, you know? Like, just
they
have
love
a
it. It's patriotic.
Yeah.
Okay, they watched them get deployed, but they
it's
weren't,
like the Le Mans race, come on.
They weren't on bleachers on the battlefield. Like, these are military weapons firing at each other. Why is there should have been, this is Neo-France's fault for creating live audiences for the shit in the first place, but
a lot of shit is France's fault, Audrey, come on.
Yeah.
Specifically Neo-France's fault. I said.
And you think that, like, they would have stopped the shit and cut the guy out of the tournament earlier on, not the finals of the tournament, when he's clearly demonstrated he does this all the fucking time?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his one thing. That's the one thing he knows how to do is stand in front of the audience.
Come on. Let him play, coach.
Yeah, look, come on. He's got a bit and he's stuck to it, you know?
Yeah,
you gotta respect it.
I got one bit, and my bit is risking innocent lives. So, I mean, technically he wins, but the king is like, dude, we were here watching the entire time. We know what you're up to, and it's not kosher. So, yeah, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
It's gonna be George, I think. And in retaliation to this, he turns to the king and starts to fire, and George stops him, but, like, in that process, the gargantuan jumbo comedy size Olympic torch is hit and falls, and literally everyone in the fucking stands is incinerated. Holy fuck.
It is horrifying. So first of all, like, yeah, Mirbo's like, oh, you're not gonna choose me? I guess I'm gonna commit high treason. Which is, like, funny, but also,
We have suspended a giant bucket of oily rags and red barrels above the audience, just in case, just for entertainment purposes. Just be very careful whenever you're fighting around it. Please don't knock it over. Something horrible could happen. We have also positioned this next to the explosives and razor blades factory. Please don't fire in that direction. To the north, we've got the cactus depository. Just, don't be careful.
It truly is like everyone in this audience came pre-soaked in gasoline.
Pretty fucking much.
Because the way this fire spreads is unbelievable, and it does.
Oh my god!
It kills thousands, hundreds of people.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible.
Possibly thousands, but definitely hundreds, like instantaneously.
Mm-hmm. And what's his face is sentenced to 1,000 years prison for his crimes against humanity.
No breaks.
No breaks, honey.
You set Miette on fire?
And he tells, he's like, this, clearly all the Devil Gundam bullshit has reopened these emotional scars, which is like, yeah, I can't fucking blame him. Good God.
And as he's saying this, like, there's, like, a slow clap from the shadows, essentially, and, like, George comes out, and he's like, sup, bitch, I bet you seen the last of me. Hey, Raymond, you sure did just tell my life story to, like, the theoretical enemy, didn't you?
Donald Trump voice, you're fired.
Yeah. And what's so funny about this is that, like, okay, Doman and Rain have just, like, listened to, like, this incredibly, again, harrowing story of, like, George's past. And George comes out and he goes, Raymond, you betrayed my family for the last time. You're fired. And that's when the two of them go, oh!
No.
Gasp.
And of
also,
course,
this incident is, like, public record, so, like...
Right.
Yeah, right?
Like, again, like, Rain clearly knew about it.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I've heard about that. It's kind of fucked up.
Anyway,
and Raymond's like, haha, oh, young master, you're such a kidder. And George is like, I'm not joking, get out.
I'm not
get the fuck out of my house, yeah.
And
so
Raymond...
Raymond drives this fucking Gundam over to the bar.
The only bar in all of the Guyanese rainforest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's like fucking, he is slamming a drink. He's like, 45 years, or I'm not gonna do a French accent, 45 years of service and I'm fired. And he's like, I shouldn't be drinking this much coffee.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to read what the name on this bar is. I can't make it out.
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it.
Yeah, I think we all tried. It doesn't really matter. It is the only bar in all of the Guyanese rainforest. It may as well just be called Bar.
Yeah. It's another franchise of the bar and casino that Gentle Chapman was in.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so there's... Yeah, so as he's sitting in the bar, there is a news bulletin.
God.
How fortunate he also happened to be in the one place with a television in all of Guyana.
How convenient, yeah.
Yeah. And the news bulletin is, uh-oh, sisters, someone with 1,000 years sentence in the French space colony has broken out of the colony and is heading to Earth. His name's Jean-Pierre Mirabeau. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. God. And yeah, he's like, he freaks out and he starts to basically run back. And the whole time too, like as this is happening, we sort of see cutaways to George, and George is like, can only think about Raymond still, which is like, I like this weirdly intimate relationship that he has with his butler.
Yeah. I feel like it's very like you are my dad, boogie woogie woogie.
Yeah, he's like, hears a rustle in the bush behind him. He's like, Raymond? And he turns around, but no, it's just a bird that flies away.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
There's like a quick cutaway here, I think, to Domon and Rain. And Rain just has like this great line, which I love, which is like, you seem to be quite popular lately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Domon's like, leave my ass alone. LMAO.
I think she specifically says, I envy you, friendship among men.
Yeah.
What's better than this?
Come on, you've got Bunny, Kath Janet, and the other one.
Yeah, you have your own 5-person gay polycule as well.
You're in no place to judge, Rain.
Yeah. So, actually, what does happen after this? I watched this episode
after
yesterday.
all of that. Yeah. So it's the next morning and all that. Rain has like shown up with Domon to talk to George, try and talk some sense into him. George is like, Raymond brought shame upon me, and Domon's like, no, George, you brought shame on yourself.
Okay.
You're no Gundam fighter.
That's right. That's what this note is for. So my next note here is that I would love to know the details of Domon and George's kink negotiation. Because the only thing Domon does here is humiliate him.
Yeah, Jesus.
He does get his ass is the thing.
So I'd love to know the details of that. Yeah.
And then, like, as if on cue, after we saw the news of the escape shuttle, oh, the escape shuttle's here. Oh, it's Jean-Luc Bilodeau. Oh, fuck.
Right, I mean, doesn't... Raymond comes during this time, right? Like, right
we
before
see Raymond...
Mirabeau... No, it's after.
No,
It's
he doesn't,
after.
yeah. Yeah, Mirabeau is here. The fucking, like, shuttle just flies up and he bursts out of it and he's like, hey, I'm here! And he immediately assails the whole group with the, like, cannons that are in the chest. He's like, I've got you, I've cornered you, I'm back.
Say, Mirage Gundam looks like shit.
It's a
good.
bad design. I kind of like the, like, cannons that it has sticking out of its chest. Those are cool, but, like, the rest of it is, like, the weird spiky cod piece. Like, the color scheme is pretty bad. I don't like the hat. It's
a lot to see.
It's pretty ugly.
But, George is so paralyzed by fear and trauma that he doesn't even have the presence of mind to get in his Gundam. He's just, like, frozen on the spot as Mirage Gundam is about to, like, big stompy on him.
Please, yes, Steppy.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
No.
No, he does not have any kink negotiation with Jean-Pierre Mirabeau.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, so, like, at first, Raid's like, Domon, get in Shining Gundam. And Domon's like, no, I won't. This isn't my fight. And then, like, George is about to get squashed like a bug, and he's like, never mind, I guess it's my fight
now! Yeah.
George is way too traumatized to be doing this, so I guess I'm getting into Shining Gundam!
The circumstances have changed, Rain!
Yep. And as he's about to do that, and he gets into Shining Gundam, but as he's about to, like, Shining Finger, Mirage Gundam...
Also, we should mention that Raymond does a big comedy, like, running to the scene
it's
of
a
the
weird
battle.
montage of him getting over here,
Yeah,
like falls off a cliff
music.
and...
Yeah, so he's about to do it when, like, Schwartz shows up. And he's like, no, you were correct the first time. This isn't your fight.
Yeah. And, like, at some point, when Domon first tried to get into the fight, he does, like, sock the Mirage Gundam in the head. And, like, after, Schwartz holds Domon back, he looks over and, like, sees that the head reforms. And Jean-Luc Bilodeau's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I met Master Asia on the way here. He gave me some cool devil cells. What's up?
Yeah, I hit up Master Asia on my way here, because I just know where he is. I just found him. It's pretty easy, actually.
I followed the gigantic fucking, like, ohm tracks to get to, like, the gigantic ass of the Devil Gundam.
He posted on Antagonist Discord /our antagonists and was like, yo, what's up? I'm in Hong Kong giving out free DG cells. Hit me up. So far.
Meet up?
Yeah.
The first hit's free, you gotta pay for the next one, though.
Must be vaccinated.
God. Me and the boys after we get vaccinated.
Right, yeah.
Just getting covered in DG cells.
In DG cells, yes. Oh, God. He, like, reforms and, like, forms a missile launcher on his back and just starts, like, firing willy-nilly at everyone. And George is still too afraid to do anything, and, like, at some point, Rain runs over and tries to help George up, and they're both, completely unguarded. But right before a bunch of missiles are about to hit, who else but Raymond shows up and blocks missiles with Butler Bensuman, just like, the body of it himself, and this finally snaps George out, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker right now.
George is like, I'm going to expose myself to exposure therapy. I'm sure this will work great.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It's fine. It's normal.
It'll be fine.
So he gets into Rose Gundam, and he gets a little nutty with it.
He does do some brutal battling right now.
So there is like no shade whatsoever of the George that we know in this fighting. This is like Argo.
He's sicko mode right now.
He beats like Mirage Gundam into the ground, and then he rips its arm off.
Why is so much arm ripping right now? Good God.
He has his fucking sword out, and he just fucking punches Mirabo in the face, tackles him to the ground, and then, rips his arm off. Plants his foot on Mirabo's face.
Yeah.
While he's doing this.
And it's, like, going to, crush, crush the helm of the Gundam under his foot. And as he's doing it, Domon's watching, he's like, ooh, okay, this is better than what it was, but this isn't, no, not like this. And he goes over, he's like, George, you gotta stop. And George's like, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. And...
Homie.
George, no. George, yes.
Yeah. tired of being evil. I just want to be loved now. Evil again. And Domon has to physically restrain George, so he comes up behind him,
he's got him in a headlock.
Hooks his arms underneath Rose Gundam's arms, pulls him back bodily against his body, and then, for the second time ever, activates his super mode at will. So, hey guys, what does it mean if you can only access super mode in times of extreme emotion, and the first time you're really able to do it at will is to stop another guy from betraying his code of honor by physically restraining him with your entire body?
Gay, homosexual, gay.
Nothing, not a damn thing. It doesn't mean fucking anything. It's one of the gayest things I've seen in my life.
It's an exceedingly, put this shit on Pornhub.
Tag your NSFW, G Gundam.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
It's beautiful.
There is no straight explanation for this.
What could be better than this?
I want to be clear, Domon's a bicon, for sure. But the only other time, again, remember that we've seen the super mode activated at will was to save Rain. So what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it all mean?
What does it mean? George is, upon seeing this, he finally fucking gets it. He hears Raymond's voice of all things, and that finally calms him down, and he realizes the real enemy isn't Mirabo, the real enemy is inside myself.
And also the Devil Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what he does startled me at first, because I was like, oh, George is normal, and then he fucking, pierces the cockpit
wait.
of
Before
the
he does
Gundam.
that, I love this shot of Domon's just got his hand on George's shoulder, on his Gundam shoulder, and you can see the feedback on the mobile trace system.
It's so nice.
And he grabs it. He grabs Domon's hand.
They are in love. They are. This shit. Oh God! Only 5 fics with George on all of AO3, and none of them are Domo George, and it makes me lose my mind.
Unacceptable.
You don't need to write the fic. It's right there. It's just in the show.
It's just this. It's this G Gundam episode 20.
Go ahead, do it.
He grabs. He's holding the cockpit in his hands, in the Gundam Rose's hands, and somehow does some Shuffle Alliance crest bullshit and cures Mirabo of all the G.
Remember how the old Shuffle Alliance had to fucking kill themselves to do this?
Yeah. I know that's right. No, I love how the old Shuffle Alliance could cure DG cells, but they had to die to do it. But George could just do it without blinking. George is built different.
He's just built different.
I'm sorry. I just have a stronger, more passionate heart than you. Not my fault.
Rip to the Shuffle Alliance, but I'm different.
Literally. And Schwartz pauses the episode and, sits on a chair backwards and says, all right, Domon, lesson time. There are 2 paths ahead of you.
What have we learned here, Domon?
The fist without the heart can only lead to destruction. Which path will you choose?
One is trans-furry, the other is right-wing conservative.
And after the fight, George reinstates Raymond as his butler, and Raymond's like, you would take back a shriveled old prune like me? I don't know what the fuck he says, but it's basically that. It's cute.
And George is like, you are my dad, boogie woogie woogie.
Boogie woogie woogie. And Rain, is asking Domon, hey, that was cool. Hey, what was that super mode, though? And he's like, I don't know, I'm tuning in next week to find out, Rain. Who knows?
Who knows?
What a good episode.
Dun 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 dun!
Y'all want to hear about some bullshit now?
Let's go.
All right. Mobile Fighter G Gundam episode 21. The final battle approaches, only 3 days away. Love to see the final battle approaches on, 40% of the way through the show.
Yeah.
The Gundam Fight Finals are only 3 days away. We see Gundams from all over the world heading to Neo Hong Kong, the site of the finals. The Shuffle Alliance sends their crews ahead of them as they want to stay back in Guyana and wait for Domon, who has secluded himself to finish his training. The 4 fighters reveal that their crests have been glowing and they can feel the pain Domon is experiencing. As Domon tries to train, Schwartz shows up again and teaches Domon that the key to mastering super mode is to have peace in his heart. Before he can fully explain, the Death Army attacks! Domon activates Shining Gundam and Rain suits up to fly Shining Gundam over to Domon as George, Shibidi, and Sai hold off the Death Army. Rain makes it to Domon's location but is met by Master Asia, who attacks her but is stopped by Domon. Argo holds Master Asia back as Domon suits up, but then massive Gundam head snake hybrids burst out of the ground. Schwartz tells Domon that they need to unite and escape, but Domon won't listen, instead attacking Master Asia and locking hands. As the Shining and Darkness Fingers collide, an explosion rocks the sky. Whoof.
Oh yeah.
Whoof.
I think it's fine, probably.
It's something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's the eve of the finals. 3 days remain.
3 days. We see, Ego. Sorry.
We get a montage of various Gundam fighters, and we don't need to go through all of these.
I kind of feel like we do.
Do you want to go through all of them? I mean, we do get to see more of them later.
So,
like, they will show up again.
Yeah, I know. But, so, first of all, before we do that, I like to point out that, like, the Gundam fight's a battle royale until it isn't, I guess.
Yeah?
Yes, it's a battle royale, and then whoever survives the battle royale gets to go to the finals, which is just like a tournament.
Yeah, okay,
the
fine.
The game has changed.
So, yeah, we get a montage of some of the other ones, and they do make me lose my mind. So we get Greece, Netherlands, and Spain here. Mm-hmm. The Greece one is Zeus Gundam, which is fine.
We get Greece, Chariot for some reason.
Yeah, Greece, Netherlands, Spain,
and I think Norway?
Yes.
One of the Scandinavians. But
yes, it's Norway.
Okay, it is Norway. But yeah, so I forgot the name of Norway's
it's the Viking Gundam.
It's the Viking Gundam.
All right, shocking.
A very what a tame name.
So
we do get to see the Grizzly Gundam again.
Yeah. But some of these I need to talk about. So Zeus Gundam is like a fun name, but like actually kind of cool design. Spain's is the Matador Gundam.
It looks stupid as hell.
But it's out there for all the furry clinkers. It's like, oh, you want to fuck bulls and you like Asterius from Hades, but you wish he was made of metal? Congratulations, it's the Matador Gundam. But the one that I really made me lose it was the Netherlands Gundam. The Nether Gundam, which is just a windmill.
It is extremely infamous. Like, if you ask somebody, like, hey, you ever heard of G Gundam? They'll be like, hey, is that the one with the windmill Gundam? And you'll say yes.
Yeah.
But there's a very good reason that it's a windmill, let me tell you. Because the thing is, the windmill Gundam, the Nether Gundam, their strategy in the Gundam fight is not to really fight, per se. It is to disguise itself as a windmill for the first round. And because they are so inconspicuous, because they just blend in with all these other windmills, they make it to the final rounds like all the time, but they have never won because their Gundam sucks shit and they have no combat experience.
It looks like they can't fucking move.
I love that, actually.
Love that for them. God, love just an absolute freak show on display here.
Yeah, on parade.
Yeah,
on parade.
God.
This is the Pride Parade.
Happy Pride. Yeah, they're all heading to the finals. Final location, Neo Hong Kong. It's been 11 months since the Gundam fight began, so time is really passing this show. We do see Karato, Mikamura, and Ulube in space in the shuttle, like heading to Earth because they got to be there for the finals, and they're like, "Where the fuck is Domon? He hasn't moved at all." And we cut over to Guyana, and like Domon and all the other fighters are sort of like setting their crews off ahead of them because they're just kind of chilling.
And Domon's like, anyway, I'm gonna go into the forest and meditate by myself. And Ring's like, what the fuck? He's like, listen, I can't get any work done with my 4 boyfriends riding my ass out here, so I'm going to try to seclude myself and not play relationship counselor for once.
I'm going to a secret cave. Don't follow me. Don't text.
Yeah, he's been gone for 2 weeks, by the way. Nobody's seen him. So he's probably dead.
He's probably dead. And like, you know, Rain's doing maintenance on the Shining Gundam right now, and George kind of walks up.
I love to see her make the Gundam flaps go.
Yes,
like to test
she's
the
like
transformation.
testing the servos. It rules. Rain is like, George, it's rude to look at an opponent's Gundam as it's undergoing maintenance, and he like turns around. He's like, oh shit, sorry, fuck. He calls out the other guys, and they're all here. Sai and Chibity and Argo.
Yeah, he has like a casual conversation. He's like, anyway, we just wanted to check in. Isn't that right, fellas? And
come on out, everyone.
Yeah, they're all here, and it's like, and Rain's like, what the fuck are you all here? It's like, well, we got these tattoos that are, like, extremely irritating, and they all hold up...
You heard of the Shuffle Alliance, Rain?
Yeah, they all hold up their crest, and it's like, hey, we're a Destiny-assigned polycule, and we can feel everything Domon's feeling, and it's, like, not great right now.
It don't feel good.
Yeah, it fucking hurts. It's been hurting for like 2 weeks now.
That shit hurted.
Hand hurty juice.
It's hand hurting juice.
Tattoo ink is hand hurty juice.
We got the same temporary tattoos, and they're all synced up with each other.
Yeah. And they say they've been hurting for like 2 weeks, and Chibity thinks that like maybe we're feeling Domon's pain, and Argo's like, it's not really pain, it's not suffering or anxiety. And I guess to be in the Shuffle Alliance, you need to be an empath.
Yeah, and they're all oh my god, the crests are just the crests all spell out bestie if you put all their hands together.
It does the Yu-Gi-Oh smiley face
exactly.
hand.
Yeah, 100%. So Domon's in his fuck off cave.
Being normal.
Yeah, being normal while everyone is feeling his like emotional agony, and he's like, damn. It's like such a funny way. He's like, damn, why can't I summon super mode at will? And he's like, what's the one constant in both of these times that I've summoned it? And he thinks about Rain, and he thinks about George, and he's like, nope, I got nothing.
Anyways, let's go punch and kick some rocks.
You stupid idiot, the secret ingredient is love.
Yeah.
In his frustration, he just like punches and kicks a bunch of stalactites and shit in this cave while imagining that Master Asia's face is on them.
Yeah, he's like, fuck protected environments. It cuts back to the polycule, and Chibity is complaining to Sai and George. He's like, man, Domon sucks. We should stop supporting him. And George is just like, well,
why are you here?
Like, you can leave.
You can go.
Like, you can leave anytime you want.
And Chibity's just like, no, fuck that.
No way.
No, look, I've got nothing better to do. I'll hang around. No particular reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. George is like, well, I'm here to protect Rain. And he's like, why are you here, Chibity? And Chibity's like, I got a free schedule right now. I got nowhere else to be.
Why are you here, you homophobic homosexual?
Yeah, there's nothing urgent that's happening in 3 days that I should be at.
No.
Yes, I'm gay. Yes, I hate gay people. We exist.
We exist. Argo is at his own camp with Natasha. And he like asks Natasha why she hasn't taken him to Hong Kong yet. And she's like, well, we might as well wait for Domon since he's going to be our opponent in the finals anyway. So even Natasha's getting in on this stupidity. I love her. She fucking rules.
Tasha saw another man she can peg. And is like, I'm going to peg the entire polycule.
God damn. Rain is asleep in the cockpit of the Shining Gundam. And it like pulses red with an alert. And it shows like a billion Death Army like camera feeds appear on screen. Why wouldn't she wake up from this?
I know.
She took sleeping
6 million
pills.
Death Army troops asleep.
Yeah. So
She smoked the biggest fucking joint in the world off camera, and she's just knocked out right now.
Yeah. She's got low blood sugar, okay?
True.
Domon coming back, real shit.
Real shit.
Exactly. Domon still can't get it in his special cave. And then Schwartz is here. Schwartz calls out to Domon. He's like, all right, you dumb motherfucker. I'm just going to tell you how this works.
Yeah, you've been fucking around, like, getting your pants wet and, like, punching rocks and chopping trees and shit, or trying to, for, like, weeks, and you haven't done anything. So I'm going to just, like, try to kill you now. And that'll probably do it. So he's like, hey, I challenge you to a Gundam fight match. You fucking idiot.
You dumbass.
And he just gets into the Shadow Gundam and starts trying to kill Domon.
Yeah. He's like, I've given you enough chances. Either if you die, you die.
If you die, you die.
Sink or swim, idiot. Come on.
Yeah, and he's like, as he's like trying to cut Domon apart, he's like, you're gonna die, Domon, you better have peace in your heart.
You better have a serene state of mind.
And as this happens, Domon, like, everything goes white around him, and it gets all calm, and like, we see like water dripping from a stalactite to the pool below, and it's, serene, and he sees his parents, and he sees Master Asia, and he sees Kyoji, and he like needs to let it all go, and then he sees Rain, and he's like, oh shit, girl, and he like just blocks this Gundam Spiegel's blade with his own shitty, rusted, glowing katana. Oh, it's so sick.
It's pretty cool, yeah, but he's like on the verge of death. He has accepted that this German ninja is about to kill him in a cave and nobody knows. So he just lets go of all of his worldly emotions and is able to activate his super mode. Kind of. Yeah, with the katana. And yeah, he blocks the Shadow Gundam's strike.
Everyone's tattoos are glowing red right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, because they all need to wake up. They fucked up big time.
Domon.
Rain. Rain, wake up, you fucked up big time. The Death Army's attacking.
Oh, yeah.
And Rain wakes up to the Death Army attacking, and she's like, oh, it's time for my sexy transformation sequence.
Guess I'll rubberize.
Yeah, you thought you'd only see this like once.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's time for me to like stretch in latex and questionable pain/pleasure. And she gets into the Gundam, and she's like, I can handle the Death Army. And then George and Saishi show up, and they're like, you don't have to, and take care of the ones immediately around her. And they're like, hey, our hands are glowing like something fierce. Something the fuck is up with Domon. And Rain's like, yep, I need you to use your hands as homing beacons to get me towards Domon so I can give him the Shining Gundam. Because something the fuck is up. And so all four of...
It's not great.
So the three of them, so Chibity joins as well. Argo's not there.
Argo heads off away from Natasha, but like he doesn't join up with the group.
Right, yeah, exactly. But
she mentioned the Dark Army is also dropped in on Schwartz and Domon at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, these fuckers is everywhere.
So Chibity, George, and Saishi are like, we are going to escort you towards Domon. And at first, like, there's so many of the Death Army. Like, George is the first one to be like, all right, you three go on. I'm going to hold them off here. Get the Shining Gundam to Domon. And
we get new types of Death Army guys here.
Yes.
Max didn't want to talk about them, but yeah, we get the flying ones, which are called Death Birdie.
Birdies.
They look like Mothra. I love these things.
Yeah, they're pretty
big
cool.
wing.
So George takes care of the land ones. They go a little bit further, and Saishi engages the birdies. And both of them are like, both Saishi and Chibity are like, they fly now? Are you kidding me?
They fly now.
And so Saishi's like, whatever, you guys go on ahead, I'll take care of it. And then Chibity and Rain continue over like a river basin, and there are nautical
Death Navy.
Death Navies that come out, and Chibity's like, I've had it up to fucking here with these guys.
These guys are like mermaids, like they're kind of they're like submarine sort of guys, but then they can detach from the submarine part and then just fire it as a torpedo. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Interesting to know. Yeah, the same thing as with the Death Birdie. They're just a regular Death Army suit, sort of painted blue, and like the whole birdie thing is literally just like this weird like glider with like Gatling guns that it uses.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
We get a line I really love from George here, which is like, anytime any of them speak in their native language, I really enjoy hearing it. So there's a great line from from Chibity, as he engages the Death Navy, which is "Sa, come on." So "Sa" is Japanese, obviously, which it means something similar to like "well," like putting "well" at the beginning of a sentence. So it's just like "Sa, come on," which I love so much.
Yeah, it's God, Chibity fucking rules. He punches them all out, and like, Rain's still heading there. Excuse me. She sees a cloaked figure as she gets to, like, the sort of waterfall basin where Domon's location is, and she's like, it's Domon. She gets closer.
Surprise,
it's not
bitch!
Domon,
It's Grandpa!
I
Grandpa's
bet you
here!
thought you'd seen the last of Master Asia!
He fucking whips around.
You were wrong!
And, you're wrong! He reveals himself, and the Death Army show up and, like, take down Rain the Shining Gundam, like, sort of pin her down. And Master Asia's approaching with his scarf, ready to take her out. But finally, Domon fully cuts through the waterfall with his dog shit katana and, like, just straight up takes out the Death Armies, like, himself on foot with that sword. It rules. Go, Domon, go.
Yeah, and him and Master Asia go at it for a little bit. He tries striking him with the sword, and Master Asia just blocks it with his hands because he's fucking
Damn,
cool.
dude, your sword sucks.
Yeah, your sword sucks, dude. It's not even glowing anymore. What the fuck?
I will say that, like, something I noticed here was just, like, the background music was impeccable here. I don't know if you noticed it, Max, but it was just, it's, like, fairly, it's, again, one of those tracks that has, like, a lot of gaps in it, so there are moments of, like, extended silence before the music, like, comes back in, and it's just, like, it builds tension so well.
Yeah, it feels like engineered that way almost.
Yeah.
Like choreographed to the scene. It fucking rules.
Yeah.
And Master Asia's like, I get that light. Oh, it was nothing after all. And he calls Master Gundam, and he's getting ready to destroy the Shining Gundam. But Argo rolls up out of nowhere, fucking body checks the Master Gundam, and grabs him by the throat, pins him to the wall. Oh, Argo's like, I think Argo's my favorite member of the Shuffle Alliance.
Rules, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that Argo's entire style of fighting is just bodying people.
His style of fighting is just big.
Yeah, he's like, trying to kill me, better make it count, better do it in one shot!
Exactly. And Argo says, no fun going to Hong Kong if you aren't there. It's very cute. He says that's to Domon. Domon suits up immediately, gets in the cockpit. Master Asia just straight breaks out of Argo's grip and tears his arm off yet again. Good God, man.
God damn. The arm repair expenses are through the roof.
They just have... Yeah. Okay, this is a complete side note. This is... oh god, I want to say Gundam Narrative, which is like a really recent movie. There's this thing called a silver bullet suppressor, where it's just like a mobile suit that uses a gun, normally that only a Gundam can fire, that's so powerful that it literally has a rack of spare arms on its backpack, because every time it fires its fucking gun, it breaks its arm.
Fucking rules.
Which is... It's so fucking choice.
It's literally... Oh my god, that's literally... It's just Boku no Hero Academia.
It really is! It really is! But Deku can't carry spare bones with him.
Yeah.
Unless that's happened, I haven't kept up with it.
It just reminds me of a character in another anime who punches so hard that all of the muscles and meat on his arm falls off and he has to get his arm replaced.
You talking about Baki?
I'm talking about Baki.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that sounds like fucking Baki to me.
It's also Shizuo Heiujima.
It seems like a recurring theme.
Yeah. Anyway, we get...
Y'all heard of snakes?
Yeah, hey, I have to, redefine my, definition for what I'm calling a neckbeard now, because I hate these things.
Oh god, these things fucking... I think they're just called, like, devil heads or something like that.
They're called Gundam heads.
They're literally just neck beasts. Come here.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Stupid neck beast, Lady Dimitrescu voice.
They're as tall as she is. They're fucking big.
They're just big Gundam heads on, like, snake bodies. Like
stupid neck thing.
Stupid neck thing.
I mean, we haven't even seen the worst part of them.
I know.
Can't wait. They're fucking everywhere. Domon's ready to fight, and Schwartz, like, breaks out, like, holding, like, a torn apart devil, or a Death Army, and he's like, motherfucker, we need to go now. We need to unite and escape. And Domon's like, have you seen Star Wars Episode 5?
Nah,
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna finish my training. Fuck that. I'm gonna fight my master.
Yeah, I feel for Schwartz really badly here.
He's been trying so hard to wrangle this idiot, and he just refuses.
And not just this idiot, but, like, this entire crew of jackasses. Like, being Schwartz is suffering. Being Maguka is suffering. All he wants to do is, like, defeat dark fuck-off forces from the DG, from the Devil Gundam, and instead all he's able to do is babysit these shithead kids.
It's so fucking good. And the last shot of the episode is Schwartz telling Domon, "No, you don't fucking do it, dude."
Oh, don't do it! Oh my god!
Oh, he about to do it! And Domon and Master Asia lock hands, and the Shining and Darkness finger, and then just like this big fucking explosion happens. Tune in next week. Domon's probably gonna presumably gonna get his ass completely handed to him. Yes. Oh shit! I love this show.
Like, we have seen this. He's done this before.
It's not gonna work.
The variables haven't changed. You didn't activate the super mode.
You didn't fully learn the lesson, you dumb fuck.
You have to think about the men you love. We figured out the key. Come on.
Oh god, I love this show.
I have to say, I do like one of the funniest things in these episodes for me is him thinking about like Rain and George and being like, I got nothing, can't figure it out.
Exactly.
It's like, gee, it's like
dumb as a sack of hammers.
Like, what's the one thing that like connects these two people in my mind? Nope, got nothing.
God.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. That's episode though.
It sure fucking is.
I got nothing.
I do.
I was gonna like. Oh, you do? You're tremendous, Audrey.
I do.
Yay.
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond tomorrow!
So, this is going to be kind of interesting because if anyone here listens to Pot of Greed, you've already heard this. But today I'm going to talk about Saisaishi Seiyu Mitsuo Yamaguchi. So, in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, he plays Catboy Sensei, Professor Daidokuji.
Glad he's dead.
He's dead for sure. Yep. He has had a pretty long and storied career. He is the titular Ranma of Ranma Half. He's Jin in Yu Yu Hakusho. What else are some of his? He's Shinichi Kudo in Case Closed / Detective Conan.
No, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Usopp in One Piece.
God, good.
Let's see. What else do we have here that's like really... No, he was L in Death Note.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's Kuma / Teddy in Persona 4.
Tremendous. Good.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, okay. He's Yongu in Diamond is Unbreakable. Shigekyu.
Oh, fuck that kid.
Yeah.
Glad he's dead.
Rest in peace, Shigechi.
And he's been in a bunch of video games as well. He was Julian in Fire Emblem. He was, let me go down.
Any more Gundams?
Oh, actually, yeah.
That's always what I look up the first thing when I do these.
He was, Tobia Aronix and Saisaishi again in Extreme Versus.
No.
Yep. He is both of them in SD Gundam G Generation Spirits Wars World.
They don't make enough fucking Gundam games in America.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
There was a fucking G Gundam's SNES fighting game, and it sucks shit.
He is the Japanese voice of Crash Bandicoot.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
He is the Japanese voice of Harry Potter.
Wicked.
Bloody hell.
He played Hifumi in Danganronpa 2.
Okay.
Who's the I forget what his skill is, but he looks like a hamster. Like that's his thing.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
He was Taka in Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, so
I love Taka.
I don't know about that, but I know you two are into that.
I've never played that fucking game.
That was Jordan.
Oh, okay.
What a fucking career! Holy shit!
Yeah, and let's see if there's anyone else that. Oh, he was Inuyasha in Inuyasha.
There's a pretty important role, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, he was in Audrey's Special Yaoi Corner again.
Let's go.
He was no, it's not that bad. I promise you, it's not as bad as Boku no Sekuhara. He was Sakuma Ryuichi in Gravitation, who is, in my opinion, one of the only tolerable characters from that. And then not in my Yaoi Corner, he is Phaeton in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, tremendous.
Oh, Phaeton. I love Phaeton.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was Baki.
Yo! in like the old one?
in like the OVA from the 90s.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The old
Holy
Baki.
shit.
Yeah. And he's also back in my yaoi corner. He is Subaru in Tokyo Babylon, which is getting renewed this year or rebooted this year, which is insane.
Happy Pride.
Congratulations, Audrey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not excited about it. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're getting.
I think you're excited about it.
We're getting of all the Cramped series, I would say that Tokyo Babylon was not my favorite of them. But we're getting a new version of it. They also never finished it. Like, to be very clear, they never finished it. So the fact that we're getting a new version of it is very funny to me.
Wow, fuck yeah. Thank you, Kappa Yamaguchi.
Yep.
I am saluting.
Thank you.
And thank you, Audrey, for that. That was... I forgot about, like, literally all those roles, so it was just as exciting the second time hearing it.
Yeah. Oh, and he's Red 13 in the remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Love that weird fucking dog. I love Nanaki. Hell yeah. What an episode we've done today.
Sure is.
Good work, gang. Good fucking work. I guess plugs time is what we would be doing now. You know me, Max Bajillion, Twitter, etc. Podcasting, Pod of Greed at twitter.com/podofgreedcast. Argyle and Audrey do that one with me. It's pretty fun. Slappers Only.
I do?
Believe it or not. Slappers Only pod on Twitter. Tune in yesterday, when this episode goes out, to hear us talk about Super Mario Sunshine. Wahoo!
Wahoo.
Good game. Not enough people respect it. That's all I got.
Cool.
I'm Argyle. You can find me on Twitter at Argyle_funk. You can also listen to Pot of Greed, but also KMRO FM, aka Kamarocho Radio, aka my Yakuza podcast that I host with friend of the show, Jordan. We are nearing the end of Yakuza 2. It's a good game. Listen to it.
Cool.
Audrey?
Yeah. I am Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Twitter at Optimum Prime. I'm also on Pot of Greed. Little plug. Don't know if it'll still be going by this point next week, but we are in the middle of something called Our Cup of Greed, celebrating the birth of our special little boy, Yugi Muto. It's our annual Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, so you can stop by and watch some of the duels. I lost very pathetically today. Don't have any other projects. By the time this airs, I will have recorded, I don't know if it will be posted yet, a guest spot on a podcast called Mission Ignition, which is hosted by friend of the show, Dirk Dammit, who it is a podcast about a very interesting 90s TV cartoon called Vampires, as in VAN Pyres, which is about vampire cars. So that's fun. Don't know when that will be airing, but possibly before this time this episode comes out. So check out Mission Ignition. And I don't have any other projects in the making at the moment, but if you're interested in hearing more from me, you can follow at The Reticulation. That's TheReticulation on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook for updates about a website I'm trying to launch with a friend of mine to spotlight and uplift LGBT voices in the realm of pop culture criticism. And it is Pride, so now's a great time to do it.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Go to twitter.com/WildCoolPodcast to check this out. Discord links in every episode description and the Twitter account itself to come hang out with us. Go to noisepace.xyz to find out this, all our other shows, many, many more. 2021 year of the podcast. Everyone's saying it. And Audrey.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Got a question for you. What's your robot of the week?
My robot of the week is the new stand mixer I finally bought myself after years of wanting one.
Oh, fuck yes.
I love a good stand mixer. They're so fun.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I made a pretty baller hollow with it a couple weeks ago.
Hell yeah.
I love making bread.
I love bread. Bread's good, I think.
The thing is that bread and butter is my bread and butter, if you know what I mean.
Many are saying that.
Many are saying this. Fucking love bread. I'm gonna have some bread after this. And as we always say, in the words of our ancestors, colonialism is bad.
Wow.
Cool robot?
Yes, cool robot. Confirmed.
Peach.
Cool robot.
Peach!